A pair of shoes, a t-shirt or a dress, this is fashion. Many think fashion is marginal, secondary. Yet, behind this simple word, there is a universe of symbols. Researchers do not agree on the beginning of fashion. However, it is clear that it mostly developed during the 19th century, thanks to fashion journalism, becoming a social phenomenon. It was considered to be a form of imitation and distinction, imitation among social classes and distinction of the upper social classes from lower ones. At the same time, people, through clothes, could show their economic position and status. Now, we are going to analyze the psychology of fashion, that is to say, how fashion influences human psychology. The aim is to understand if clothes could influence our life as well as our behavior. American studies on marketing, sales, and communication state our image as first impression on the customer is crucial. In 2003, Stanford University in the USA carried out a research on first impressions, with the result that 90% is mainly based on our appearance. Dirk Denrell, chief of the research, noted that when someone makes a negative impression on us, we are less likely to seek out that person again, making it difficult to gather additional information that could change our first impression. If, however, external factors force further interaction, there is the opportunity to soften the first negative judgment, if not reverse it altogether. The problem has interesting workplace implications. People tend to socialize with those who are similar to themselves in terms of gender, race, educational level, and so forth. In consequence, our wardrobe can say far more than words. The question that sociologists and psychologists ask is, why do we wear clothes if at the moment of our birth we are completely naked? To answer this question, we are going to explain the four functions of clothes listed by the camp: protection, shame, adornment, and language. Pieces of clothing can protect our body from atmospheric conditions and impede animals from biting or stinging us. They cover private parts and are a means of enhancement and embellishment of the body. Yet, over the last decades, many researchers have been focusing on the language of clothes as form of communication. Motivations to the choice of a piece of clothing depend on human psychological aspect. Hence, we are accustomed to judging other people on the basis of the clothes they decide to buy or wear. Therefore, as clothes depend on people's psychology, our behavior can be influenced by them. In an interview, psychologists Catherine Zuber and Sarah Stern, who in September 2005 published a book entitled Déshabillez-moi, talked about this psychological aspect of fashion. In their opinion, pieces of clothing can influence our behavior. People are convinced of the fact that their mood often depends on the clothes they choose. Therefore, clothes hold people's history. Changing them would mean starting a new life. When dressing, people follow some rules, known as dress codes. Dress codes are non-written rules on fashion which depend on circumstances and on the situation. These rules establish the messages we convey through the pieces of clothing we put on. This includes gender, income, job, social class, religion, civil status, sexual orientation. These simple rules, which transform a piece of clothing into a symbol, communicate with the world and constantly change in accordance with the situation and the context. They are a universe made up of symbols and signs, but the relation between sign and meaning depends on a series of factors: who wears the piece of clothing and how, the context, the social class, the cultural area. We will try to explain dress codes on the basis of a research carried out by Sarah Huggs from the Masters College, California. The aim was to analyze whether and in which terms the way of dressing influences employees' behavior and job. Many psychologists and researchers state the way we look directly affects the way we think, act, and feel. The result of the study was clear. There are positive and negative effects. Although the tendency to have casual dress in the business world has increased, the change was not so bad, as in some cases this adoption led to benefits to the company, including improved employees' mood, less need to buy formal clothes, and more communication among staff. Yet, there is another side to the coin. Many sources have noticed a decline in work performance since the start of this trend. Casual dress habits in the workplace environment do not promote nor encourage productivity. We try to analyze whether people are aware of dress codes or not by carrying out a survey on 100 people. The questions asked to the participants were two. Results were surprising. From a merely 25%, the number reached 71% when the second question was asked, underlining that people raised awareness of dress codes. The reason why we decided to analyze fashion is that most people are convinced of the fact that fashion only means clothes, which constantly change in accordance to the season. Yet, behind this short word, there is a universe of functions, characteristics, and implications which make fashion a really complex phenomenon. Hence, this research tried to unveil the essence behind the appearance. Maybe fashion is frivolous, but this frivolity is not without virtue, since it represents, or better, it prefigures, the structure of society.